Hello everyone, this is Hugh Rivera from section ME1E2. In this video is all about my reaction on the video The Case Performance Art. So let's get started.
You're minding your own business in an art gallery when all of a sudden a movement occurs out of the corner of your eye. It couldn't be. You break into a cold sweat and look around for the nearest exit. But it's too late. It's happening. It's performance art. Why? Why has my precious fourth wall been violated? Why must I be forced to endure this inevitable awkwardness? This is the case for performance art. Performance art is a term used to describe art in which the body is the medium or live action is in some way involved. This is nothing new, of course. Human beings have always performed in front of each other through ritual, storytelling, dance, carnival, and on and on. But as art evolved, the word became known for describing specific things, mainly objects, like painting, sculpture, and drawing. Live action belonged to other disciplines like theater and ballet and opera. But during the course of the 20th century, artists began to incorporate live action into works and describe it as art. The Italian futurists in the 19-teens saw performance as the only way to reach a mass audience, staging noise concerts and a kind of disruptive variety theater aimed at destroying, quote, the solemn, the sacred, the serious, and the sublime in art with a capital A. Think artists are kind of nuts? Well, the futurists wanted you to think that, arguing the name of madman, with which it is attempted to gag all innovators, should be looked upon as a title of honor. Dada artists embraced the crazy as well, and built off the popularity of cabaret in post-World War I Germany. Artists Hugo Ball and Emmy Hennings opened Café Voltaire in 1916 in Zurich and invited artists and writers to come give musical performances and readings of all kinds. No one knew what might happen on any given night. It could be like this, or it could be like this. During the Weimar years, the Bauhaus was the first institution to offer a specific performance class, reinforcing it as a medium in its own right. Avant-garde theater flourished across Europe, and early surrealist Antonin Artaud theorized what he called the theater of cruelty, proposing a direct communication between the spectator and the spectacle, engulfing the spectator into the action, writing, "We abolish the stage and the auditorium and replace them by a single site, without partition or barrier of any kind, which will become the theater of the action." After World War II, Black Mountain College in the US became a hotbed of experimental interdisciplinary practice, with avant-garde composer John Cage teaching classes and staging collaborative productions. They put on a version of Eric Satie's surreal The Ruse of Medusa, featuring Merce Cunningham as Mechanical Monkey, Buckminster Fuller as Nonsensical Baron, and sets by Willem and Elaine de Kooning. Cage shared with his students his understanding of music as it relates to Zen Buddhism, that art should not be separate from life, but an action within life, with all of the accidents and chaos and occasional beauty that entails. Participants in his productions were given loose scores that left a lot to interpretation, had unpredictable results, and
So that's it. So if they ask me to define performance art, I probably stumble into a couple of cliches. You know it when you see it, you kind of have to be there, etc. There is so many information in that video that I spend hours of posting them so that I can investigate all pieces of artists, and I'm grateful for the existence of that video. Honestly, I don't know much about art. In fact, I don't get art most of the time, but I've always loved learning it. I just found that video and it's cool. Thank you to Miss Bundang, our kind teacher, who share this type of learning about art. I really appreciate this series. I feel like it helped shed light on a lot of stuff that I don't see as art in a different way. I feel like I'm going to have to run through this video several times just to manage to absorb the sheer quantity of insightful information. I would say that video is so fantastic. As someone who loves performance art and does a lot of work to promote it, felicitate it, and share it, it is so validating to find such a well-made and positive video that honors this important medium. I love that video. Instead of saying, "I don't get it, that's ugly, that's weird, or that's boring," I will have now think twice about artists and how their art is represented and why?